Good afternoon, everyone. It's officially noon just about here now, too. So, good afternoon. Good morning if you're on the West Coast or anywhere earlier than Central or later than Central Time. I'm Nick Paro, not your dad, not joined by Dr. Eric Lullove today for the Diogenes Club. However, I'm joined by Ashleigh Alauren. Ashleigh, it's good to have you on with me. It's good to see you again. Um, there you are. Now I can hear you again. It's good to have you on. For anyone who might not know you, can you introduce yourself real quick
Sure.
to say hi to the
Yeah,
audience?
sure. Absolutely. I think many of you may know me if you follow Nick a lot, which I'm sure that you do. I comment a lot in the in the chat. So a lot
You are one
sometimes.
of our prolific speakers in the
Yeah,
audience. I can
I
say that, yeah.
yeah, I have a lot to say. But anyway, yeah. So it's good to meet everyone. You know, I'm not your mom, but I am a mom. See my little segue into that. Yeah. So I just Eric needed a fill in and asked me to do so. So I'm playing Goldilocks, and yeah, that's kind of it.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on with me today. Eric's busy. He's in a hearing right now for medical stuff, and it's
Yeah,
boring.
yeah.
And he
I don't
has
really
like
need to get into it
nine
because I can't.
pages of testimony, and like it's just hearing about it makes my brain hurt. And it's
Yeah,
not something, and it's something I'm glad I don't have to do. Um,
yeah. It's very dry, but it's. But anyway, not that it's dry, but to him, I mean, it's important to sell the stuff. Anyway, irregardless.
Irregardless, it's good to have you here, and I'm glad everyone you made it with us today. I know we're starting a little bit late, um, but that's okay. If there's not a tech issue, it's not really alive, and so we got
Oh,
to have some sort of
they're
issue.
like, yeah. It's a. Is there? Can I ask? Can I
Yes,
ask? Is there any way? Do we see the chat when we're on this or no?
yeah. Let me send
Okay.
you here. Are you on a? You're on
Okay.
a computer or?
I'm on a laptop because yes, I've been told my phone sucks when I try to do these.
Okay, I sent you in our private chat is the link for the Substack chat so you can follow along and join in on the conversation because it's not really a live conversation without Ashleigh in it too.
Yeah.
Well, that's me that
Well,
you
I
just
didn't know to
lied.
see if anyone had any.
No,
I don't
that
know. I
one
guess.
you private messaged me hi. You got to click that link, open it in a new tab, and or on your phone. Um,
Not good. It's not. I don't need the chat. I don't need it. I stay.
Fuck
I
it, we'll
stay on
do
the
it live.
channel.
Fuck
Yeah,
it, we'll
we'll
do it
just
live
talk on
today.
here. Yeah.
So today we were obviously is a different episode because Doc Eric's not here. But I asked
Right.
Ashleigh before the show what she was really passionate about for interests, and we're going to talk about AI and bullying from a parent's perspective, and from what we are seeing and experiencing, either in our kids' lives or kids that we've heard about, or and so if y'all have any questions in the chat, please put them out there. If you have any experiences, please put them out there if you're comfortable with it. And I am happy to respond. I know Ashleigh doesn't have the chat up, but I am happy to respond and make sure that we pull questions from the chat so people can be seen and heard throughout that. Is Ashleigh, let's get into this conversation a little bit because we're both parents here
Right.
and we both got kids who are probably different ages from each other.
Right.
But our children are both or are all now being exposed to AI and new types of online bullying, or the potential for online bullying. And we wanted to have a conversation about it from a parent perspective on things we can do, ways that we can help engage with our kids and ensure that this type of bullying doesn't become a long-standing prolific issue.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, my kids aren't of that age yet. I mean, they play Roblox, and I've turned the chats off because my son Landon will like he doesn't chat like, but he's like, if he dies, like there's certain things he says that he would probably end up sounding like a bully in the chat, but he's not. Like, it's just, he's just mad because he died or whatever like that. But I'm more interested to hear in this. I don't really know how to manage this, and to be quite honest, I don't think if anyone says they know how to manage this, they're lying.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be honest, right? I mean, and we're both just kind of no bullshit. I don't really know. I mean, I know how we can raise our kids to be aware of things,
Hmm.
and to not, and anything that's online it's forever. I think that's another reason why I'm so hesitant with a lot of things, and why I'm hesitant to do this, because people, it's an interesting thing we think of as an industry, because it's,
Hmm.
but it's been my experience, and I went to high school, so I remember. But people, they like to target. It's hard doing something like that, and I am afraid of it, because it invites you sometimes into this world where once you are on there, you become almost public property in a certain way, um, with a lot of things. And somewhat off topic, not off topic, but last night, Bill Gates, who I'm not a fan of, but he wrote this memo, right? He's trying, I think, to do a PR pitch to try to help his image from being a dirty douchebag, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Allegedly, but I mean,
Allegedly.
in scandally clad, so I'm just whatever. But he's trying to voice his concerns about AI. Did you happen to see that memo at all, or come across? Okay, so
No, but it
it's
sounds like something he'd say.
well, and I mean, Musk has been saying this kind of as well. Like, they're not hiding the fact that this could turn into. They don't really know how it could. Like, it could ruin our world. They could, could take over and destroy us, or not. It's kind of flippant. But he touched upon also the online bullying, and it's true, because AI is this tool, right? Which is a tool. If it's used as a tool, can be extremely helpful. I mean, I harbor multiple opinions and feelings about the subject kind of simultaneously. Um, but it is also taken then, I mean, look what I can kind of do with the help of AI. Like, with going through these files and being able to piece together from all of these different financials, things that my brain cannot wrap it around, would never be nice. And I can effectively, with that help of a tool, I can figure out storylines. I can map, how this things go together, how fraud was done enough to submit it to Senator Wyden's office to be able to, that is a great tool, and it makes me much more capable of anything I'd be able to do on my own. And in that same breath, people who, if they want to get you, they can ask like, you know what I mean? There's different ways. It's scary. And the same thing with kids is that, I mean, like I said, my she's going into 5th grade. Yesterday was her first day. So she doesn't have a Facebook page. Like, I keep her pretty limited. But tell me about your kids and where they're at, because maybe you have more experience than I do. I know it scares me, because people come together and they decide something, and their truth, whether it's true or not, whoever gets it out there first, I mean, it's messaging, and
Yeah.
so the truth
Yeah.
is what it appears to be, whether or not it's, everybody's version is a little bit different. That's what's scary part.
Yeah. AI is an interesting one because, like you, I have dueling ideas on it, and dueling views on it. Is one, it's a really good research tool and it's a
Right,
really good assistant
right,
to support development of software and other technological tools if it's used safely and if it's used appropriately, where you put guardrails on it and it's a lot of the consumer has to also understand how to put guardrails on it and what's
Exactly.
appropriate and what's inappropriate for it. And like any other tool at the moment, like Naida says, is it's a tool. It can be used inappropriately. Like a hammer is intended to hammer in nails.
Right.
Well, it's also been used to murder people with,
Cool.
but we
Right.
don't consider hammers tools of murder because that's not what the tool's true purpose is. It's just what
Right.
somebody used it for. And
Right.
so the utility of AI is really dependent on the consumer and who is actually using it. Um, and so, as a parent, in this sphere of things like bots and AI and safe usage, is so I've got my two kids, they're 13 and 10. And we thinking about what you had said about Roblox is we actually took Roblox completely off our kids' devices in every way. Um, and my son, who's our younger one, always asks me, or he likes to ask a lot, is why can't I play on Roblox? My friends play on Roblox. Why can't I play anymore? Why can't I download it again? And I tell him the truth is there's material and content on there that is not safe or appropriate for you to be viewing or hearing or interacting with.
Right.
You are
I'm like,
not
I don't
old
even
enough.
know. Yeah. I don't know. I just know their friends are playing it. I'm not aware,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, of everything
Yeah.
that's
And so Roblox has been hit more than once and has
right.
been used many times for luring children into inappropriate situations and
Right.
dangerous situations. And there's because it's a world builder where people can just put up whatever they want
Yeah.
for like games or like mini games with inside, you actually see a lot of
Mm,
folks using it for white nationalist content and
right.
subtle grooming um, for children. And so we've
Yeah.
been honest with our son
Right.
on it
Right.
is that it's not a safe game for you. You are
Right.
too young to know and understand some of the content that is being put out.
Mm,
And just because your friends are playing it doesn't mean you should be playing it.
yeah.
And yeah, it's really bad inside Roblox. There's
I,
almost no monitoring, like
yeah.
guardrails
Right.
for some of this stuff. So we made the executive decision in our family of we're just going to delete it for both our kids.
Right.
Um, Even our daughter, who's older, she was like, "Okay, I don't care. I'll delete it," and she did. And it was because we talked about it
Right.
as why we're doing this. We will consider bringing it back eventually, but you need to be older, um, and you have to be able to understand the content that's being put at you, so you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel
and
like that's
so,
an important discussion even to have. Because I mean, like, I have no idea. You know
mhm,
what I mean? Like, I'll fully admit, like, their friends do it, they're whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't even think about it. Which would be important for people to kind of know, because obviously I don't want to put my kids in harm's way in that aspect. But
yeah,
you know,
and it's not an intentional thing, and most parents don't see it or haven't really looked into. A lot of parents haven't looked into it because their kids are playing it. A lot of kids are playing it. It's a system geared toward children to be able to play. It's got bright
right,
colors. It's actiony. It's like Minecraft, but in more open world with other
right,
people who can build their own little worlds into it. And so for a lot of parents, they just hear blocks and they go, "Oh,
right,
it's similar to Minecraft. It must be safe." Um,
right,
and to answer the question, what do I do when, from our friend Naida in the chat, is what do you do when they're with their friends? Is their friends, if they have it on their devices, I remind my son while he's with them is you still cannot play that game. And here's why. If your friends play it, that's their choice. That's their choice to play it. It's their parents' choice to allow them to have this game. They're not my kid, and I cannot tell them not to play it. But I will encourage you guys to do something else, like play Minecraft together and or go outside, um, because we have to. I I can't parent somebody else's kid. Um,
Right.
I can give advice and I can try and be a good model while they're at my house. But once they leave the house, it's out of my control.
Right.
And so we just teach our, we just keep putting in that lesson like, you don't need this material because it's unhealthy, this, and this. And here's why. My son really likes to ask the question why.
I was like,
Um,
I have no
he's a
idea. Go
huge
ahead.
pain in the ass because he
Right.
likes to ask the
Why kids
question
won't
why.
listen to me? I mean, it's a
Yeah,
huge
they
fact.
ask why and then they don't listen to the answer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But like, but these they actually do. He seems to listen, and my daughter listens well on it too. Is like, there's inappropriate content, and but we've also told them if you're in a game like this, and somebody does say something or tries to ask you something, the first thing you do is you tell us, you tell mom and dad, because we will listen and we will handle it. And we will make sure that you understand why we're doing it and that it's not a you problem. You are a child who has no experience. And if this person is doing it to harm you, that's a them problem. And they need to have it handled. And we will just do what we can to make sure that it doesn't become a you problem.
Right.
We like the you and them problems. Um, so that's why we let them know. We don't try and hide things.
Right.
We keep them very open and honest about it. But with the use of like AI and bots, you don't know who's actually on the other side of that device. Um, Things with like AI and chatbots and stuff like that, we're pretty careful about what we allow on our kids' devices in general. Like, I don't care that ChatGPT or some of the other AI agents are producing like kid safe models to use because no,
You can
like
get
my
around
kid,
anything, I think.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can get around anything. It's like kids YouTube. Like kids YouTube is promoted as the safer version of YouTube for children, but you can get some pretty nasty content on there. And so you still
Yeah.
have to really watch what's being put out there. And I guess it's just paying attention to them
Yeah.
and making sure we're talking to them about it. Like my daughter is old enough that she has a chat bot on her phone. And I ask her about it. And I ask her like what she talks about with her little chat agent. And it's about create the one she uses is for creativity and like it gives her an outlet when she doesn't want to speak to people anymore. Um, but I always ensure that I ask her about it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what types of conversations are there? Does it try and get you into conversations that you're uncomfortable with? What do you do when it does? And we've talked about that a little bit. Was the um, Especially my daughter, she was like, yeah, the chatbot sometimes tries to go in places in directions that I'm uncomfortable with,
Oh
paraphrasing
God.
what she said.
This is
um,
like giving me like
and
heart palpitations.
things are more explicit than she's comfortable with, but the reason she's able to talk about it is because we've made it known
Right.
and clear, and she's seen it through us that we're going to listen to her when she says things like that. And we're going to ask her about it, not to judge her, but to ensure that she knows. And so it just, for me, it goes back to that whole thing of I have to be vigilant as a parent because they're experiencing this stuff for the first time,
Right.
or first times compared to me,
Right.
who has been around for a few more years and has some experience having to deal with bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I like to talk to him about it and just be open and honest.
Yeah. No, that's the best. Like I said, I haven't come across these things yet. It's like I only know what I know from right now, like from where I'm at. I don't know if I'll make it. Like to where they like people are like, oh, when they're 17, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I'm gonna live that long. Like, I don't know if I'm like, I mean, I will, but it's like it's hard. It's a lot. Like to think of, dear God, like anyway. But yeah. Well, I mean, it is a scary thing because I used to think, and it's kind of crazy to me because obviously what they watch and the content and things like this, like my daughter likes to watch that like Salish Matter or whatever. There's like this like online YouTuber, because they're obsessed with like these people. And of course, like they get to do all these things where they're given like $500 gift cards to like go do this and go do that. It's like all these things in perspective. But it's just crazy to me that then it opens them up to thinking like that's real life in some aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like that's obtainable or that's like she doesn't quite understand. But I don't know. I mean, it's terrifying to me as an adult. Like for not terrifying, but you just see it. It's not even that there's the people who are building it. Like
Hmm.
it's the Epstein class. Like I've done extensive work on this as far as like from the financials where it can't, started off with like, everything's kind of to who's involved with it now. I mean, Trump's family, his sons are each involved. One's, with the mining, of the material, and then also with different parts of the satellite. It's just all controlled by these like disgusting people anyway that don't really. There are no guardrails. There are no
Yeah.
regulations.
Yeah.
They decide. It's again, I don't know, and we have no say on it. It's just it's happening. It's already done. Like
Yeah.
it's
And for me too, like you look at my son likes to watch YouTube videos of people playing Minecraft.
yeah, me too.
And that's another one where we've had to go in, not to limit what he's watching, but to remind him a lot about the difference in how they talk to each other and treat each other in game,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what that actually looks like in real life and how that impacts you.
right,
Um, because one of the things some of his favorite YouTubers do is they yell a lot during
right,
games. They
right.
talk really loudly towards each other. They scream and they do these
You're a
wacky,
noob.
yeah, like they do these wacky in like then they do their real life videos for themselves where they do like real life Minecraft and they're spending millions of dollars on different things and they're just wasting money, or
Right,
they're promoting one good idea over here but then underhanding it by giving to really bad causes and being not so great people. Is we have to I remind my son a lot is that what you're watching on the internet isn't real life, isn't what people actually live like, isn't how people really treat each other. And if you were to watch these people in their real lives, I bet you
right,
they're very different than what they're like online with each other. And how they
yeah,
treat each other is very different. And so it's breaking that distinction, that wall down on our side. It takes a lot. Like it's a lot because we're all of us are so online a lot. And we have to remind ourselves that online life isn't real life all the time. And how do we balance what would be a persona for some people, or what we do separate from our in person discussions, but how we can merge those without making ourselves fake. Um,
well, and I mean, I think that like the best reminder, I think, is that like whatever you're doing, assume that people are gonna see it, like no matter what it is. And
mhm.
I mean, I just it's just and also it just makes people look so like, it's a tricky thing, and I'm not like I just I want no part of like any of the stuff that like kind of goes on, with fighting and narratives and like online, like all this kind of stuff. Because it's like anything you do, like if you have an opinion about something that like someone that's like a real person, like I'm not going to give my opinion about that. That someone I know, like I own that opinion. It's mine. It belongs to me. As soon as you put it out there and you do whatever, then it's everybody else owns it. They think they do, and they turn it. It's just, I don't know. It's really, and it's just, it's sad. It's really sad, I think, to see kind of what,
Yeah, I mean, we've we've seen this for a long time now. Like growing up in the early days of the internet and chat rooms and like AOL chat and stuff like that, when you have to use to log onto the internet and it would scream at you when you were trying to get in.
right, right.
Or you got the AOL CDs and you got half an hour of internet time that day.
Yeah.
Um,
I
is like,
wasn't on it that much. I didn't like I was dancing, I was like busy, so I missed that whole until like Facebook, MySpace, you know.
mhm.
But
And I'm a millennial, so we grew up like computers started becoming normal as we
right,
were in middle school and high school, and reminding ourselves we had to be very careful because you didn't know who was actually on the other side of the computer still, even if they were your friend. We found out real quick who faked who they were
yeah,
because were just they just lied on their personality of who they were in real life versus who they were online,
right,
and it can be really telling. um but it's really just about the, like, we use the phrase is touch grass, and I know a lot of people do too.
right,
Is it's okay to be online, it's okay to be on our devices and enjoy the things with that you can, online, and your friends and your games. Like my kids see me playing video games, and we like we share playing video games with each other, and I enjoy video games, but I also remind them, like, this isn't all of it. This isn't what, like, we go outside and we go have fun and we go to the pool and we go to the creeks and we go touch grass, because the real life interactions are just as, if not more important than those online ones, even if your friends are actually online with you. Like, it's important to have that physical interaction to keep your body moving and to keep your brain away from all of the rot that could be online,
oh, yeah,
because the danger has always been there. It's nothing new. Like, the the internet has never been a safe place, and
yeah,
anyone who like lies to themselves to believe that the internet is a safe place probably buys into the phone calls or the emails from that Nigerian prince who's
right,
asking you
right,
for $1 million,
right,
and they'll send you back more at the end. Like,
right, yeah,
yeah, and I know, like, not everyone can go outside or go get offline, and that's why I'm saying it's a balance. And that, I mean, this community that we've all built here online is really important, like what we're doing here together, all of
right,
us on our Substack platforms and our discussions that everybody has. Those are really important. Like, I've made some of my
right,
nearest friends now because of Substack. Like,
right,
I've made some incredible friends through Substack. And yes, I use the term offline or go outside flippantly, and that is ableist of me because I can go outside and not be on a computer. And for some, that's their only means of social interaction. And
yeah,
that's
and I
why
mean,
it's like the balancing point of, like, of building and finding communities that actually matter and actually
right,
value you. And that's where the internet can be powerful,
right,
if you use it safely. And that's where teaching our kids, especially our younger kids, is what is a safe platform? What is not a safe platform? What How do you ensure that even if you're on a platform that feels safe, that you are keeping yourself safe and that you're not opening yourself up to unintended consequences or horrible actions being done towards you?
Right.
Um,
And what do you do when that does happen? Because when it is, I mean, I am so guilty of this right now as far as like, I've been very involved with, research and on Substack. And so I can't, I hate to be a hypocrite in the sense to, to say like, because I'm guilty of this as far as, my kids being on tablets and things like that. I mean, I try to get them to go outside, but I mean, it's a tool. Again, it's the same thing with parenting. Like it's a tool you can use, it's either it can be good or you can use it too much. And you know, I am more learning also. That's why,
mhm,
I'm asking you these questions because I don't know. Like I didn't know. I knew that Roblox or yeah, that Roblox wasn't great, but again, like I didn't the reason. Also, like if we're going to be online, things that are good and that seem positive, there's always bad apples. There's always like things that kind of are good sometimes and then, go astray or whatever. I mean, it's life, it's personalities, it's people, it's whatever it is, right? Like, how do you deal with that? What is the best way to do you defend yourself? Do you fight back? Do you like what you know what I mean? Like, what is that? I mean, and it's been like, look at what happened to like Virginia DeFray, like things like that.
mhm,
It's done for a reason. Like you know, there are, and it happens with a lot of companies too when there's lawsuits or Ghislaine Maxwell, and Leah Safi and her attorney. I mean, I know firsthand from people that there are certain people that do different things and to, you know, take them down to false information, whatever it is. Like there's actively, you know, that's a thing. That's a real thing. And what is the best way to defend that? I don't know. I just I know I just
I
steer
don't.
clear of it and try to like not to give oxygen because it gets so nasty. I mean, it's hard because everyone has their reason. Like I get it, but to me, like I would rather be effective. And so like I can see a smear campaign coming from a mile away. Like I like the whole PR thing. I mean, I worked in kind of that sector as far as like I can see a spin 5 miles before it gets there. So for me it's like I don't know. I think sometimes you have to where the best thing is not to join in on it. And
Well,
that's
that's a
hard,
good
but it's
lesson.
kind of like when you're
No, finish up. Finish. Sorry, I was interrupting you.
no, you're totally fine. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, but
No, you're not.
you know, but well, okay. But like when people are, it's the same thing with my daughter, right? Because girls are shits. They just are. I mean, guys are like they're just assholes, and like, but they'll be like in your face about it. Girls are like they pretend. You know what I mean? It happens like, and I see my daughter, little one, and she's her little girlfriends. They're calling on the iPad, and they're whatever. And I'm like, I tell my daughter, her name's Afton, and I'm like, listen to me, pay attention. Pay attention to which of your friends are like making fun, you know what I mean, of some of the other ones or however they do it. I said, I said, you have to be really careful because my personality and the reason why I think about things before I react and before I join in on going after, whatever online or whatever it is, I take a step back because my personality, I always want to defend. I'm very loyal. And guess who gets fucked in the end? I do. It comes back and like everybody else can like feel the same way, but I'm like, I'm gonna say something. I'll be the spokesperson. I'll say something, right? And then nobody says anything. And I'm like the only one standing there, and I'm the one that I'm the
Yeah.
one that, and I'm like, hello, is there their background and no one else feels this way. But I tell my daughter anyway, those people who do that, just know they're going to do it to you too. Like, be aware of that. Like, and it's enticing. Like, I can be so catty if there's other people around. You know what I mean? It's like,
Hmm.
because it can be not, but it is. If I'm honest, when you're younger and things like that, when you're around people that kind of do that, and it's not. I don't want to be like that. I'm an adult. I choose not to be like that. I'm not going to lower myself to
It's
participating. And
it's tough too because it's that balance of, like someone said in our chat, was the Leilani said in our chat, children want healthy boundaries, so do adults. um, and
right.
with technology where you can hide behind a screen, and I that's why I like camera based. That's why I like when I talk to people being able to see them in some way. It's because I can see facial responses and I can see body language. But without that, when it's just chat based, unless it's on the phone where I can hear inflection, it's really hard. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
do lose a lot, and a lot can easily be misinterpreted. And you have to be willing to set a boundary, and that boundary has to be something that you keep and are willing to keep. And you have to, I've had to talk with my kids a lot about it, because boundaries can be really hard. Boundaries can be really hard to accept, especially when it's a small thing that you think somebody would be okay with. And I'm not talking about like physical touch on people.
Right. Right.
Like, that is a clear boundary. Like,
Right.
your body is yours, and if
Right.
somebody says no, that means no. If
Right.
they say anything but yes, that means no. It's taking that same lesson of anything but yes means no and putting it on all the other things too, which is really, really hard. um, when it comes to things like sharing food, or wanting to play on a video game, or borrow a toy that somebody else is using but you want. Well, are they still playing with it? Well, then you can't have it. You have to let that other kid's creativity end before you can get your turn, unless they're willing to actually share it with you and let you in on their creativity. And if they do, you need to listen to their rules on it, because it's their creativity that you are coming in on. And establishing that boundary of, if somebody were to come do that to you, how would you feel?
Right.
What would it mean to you? And I know for my son, he hates those conversations right now. Not
Yeah.
because he doesn't understand them, because he does, but because it's just hard to hear the word no, or
Oh yeah.
maybe, or not now, especially when it's something that they really want to do. And but it's that balance of a boundary without over explaining it and not dumbing it down, because kids aren't dumb, and they pick up on a lot. And the way that you model those boundaries is really important. And the way that you model it back to them. So, like, if they say no or stop,
Right.
you stop.
Right.
Like, let's say tickling. Like, tickling is something
I
that a
hate it.
lot of younger kids enjoy, being tickled,
Right.
because it makes them laugh, they
Right.
giggle, they have fun. My son still enjoys being tickled, but
Mm.
there's a boundary for it. For
Mhm.
us, is there, he has said there are certain parts of his body that he doesn't like being tickled, and I'm talking about things like his armpits,
Right.
and he doesn't want to be tickled in his armpits. Okay,
Oh no, I'll
so
punch someone. Right.
we
Yeah.
don't
Don't.
we
Yeah.
don't
Don't.
tickle him in the armpit. I
Right.
find a way to, I tickle his feet or the back of
Right.
his knees. And
Right.
when he's and you can tell there's a stopping point
Right.
where it becomes
Right.
unfun for them, because tickling as an adult anyways, it hurts. Is he's getting to that age where he's starting to realize it's not actually funny for him
Right.
anymore. It's
Right.
but he still wants that attention, and it's like, it's figuring out that balance of how do I reframe this positive attention you're getting from me into
Right.
something that you can enjoy more? Or how can we break it down into small chunks so that you still enjoy it and we never push it too far, and then we can come back to it? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's a
that's really hard,
right.
especially.
Well, and it depends on the child,
Yeah.
obviously. There is no blueprint, and I mean, my kids are extreme. And I love them to death. And we're all extreme. We are all big personalities. It's a
Mm-hmm.
cuckoo house all around, both houses. We're crazy. It's a lot. But, you know, so my son Landon's on the spectrum. He's level 2, and really, I mean, he's like brilliant in the fact that like he will invent how to teleport, or he will become a serial killer. Like there's one like there's the middle ground where I'm not really sure, but he's insanely smart and like, and he's hysterical, but um he wants what he wants when he wants it. And so there's so much, it's more of that like behavioral is kind of where we really struggle with, and where he struggles with. And that's normal of a child no matter what. But, it's a lot. And so, when I tell him no, I mean, it depends what mood he's in. We can kind of tell, but when he temper tantrums, or like he's very dramatic. He's like, Jesus. Okay. And he's like, Jesus. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, go tell Jesus. Like, Jesus is going to be like, you know what? Listen to your mom. She said, like, you
Go
can't,
brush your teeth.
whatever. I don't know, whatever. You can't make like crayon. He put upon the Paw Patrol person in the toaster. And I'm like, you're gonna catch the house. It's just things like that. Like where it's things that like it's sunny. Today we were late for school because it was sunny. And sometimes when it's sunny, he does not want to go out. It's like it hurts his like he doesn't want to. For whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
we have no control over it, obviously. But things like that. And so my daughter's had to be very, unfortunately, at the other household, she's had a role given to her somewhat of being like the caretaker, of being someone who's always like, and then at Landon has gotten older, he doesn't want that. So now it's like this back and forth between them. And it's like that with like when Landon's already in this kind of mode, I'm like, Afton, just don't touch him. Please do not. And she's like, I can do it. And, and she's like yelling at him. And I'm like, it just makes more, like, it just adds to it. And it's kind of like that balance, like with the tickling or with whatever. Like, I can see him start to like, but then she takes it as like she's not doing something right, or she's not capable of helping him, or like she takes everything very, very personally, so then she gets mad, and like, oh my God, it's insane. Like you don't even understand how like
No, I get it. My
slamming doors,
daughter,
Jesus
we
being called. I'm like, what the fuck? Sitting here, I'm like, oh my God.
well, if it makes you feel better, my son, when he was in preschool, told a kid. This was back when we were in Washington, and we apologized to the parents of this kid because we were like, he's very blunt and and just says what is on his mind. Was this kid was talking about, I think it was Noah from and the Ark, and my
All right.
son was like, that sounds made up.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
you read that in a book? And we
they
apologized because
did.
we were like we are an atheist family. We don't teach specifically on faith. We talk about the mythology and the stories, and we talk about some of the lessons that can be learned, but we're not faith-based. And we were just like, he didn't mean to insult you or
Right,
your
right,
kid. He says what's on his mind and what he's thinking. And we've had to teach our kids not to moderate who they are or mask who they are, but to moderate. I think not to mask who they are is a better way to put it.
right. Of other
Is
people's feelings.
is to moderate what you say so that the words that you're saying aren't harmful to other people unless it's necessary. Like we've taught our
Right.
kids to defend themselves through words for the most part, and to use your words effectively. And it's okay to tell people when they're wrong, but you also have to know when it's situationally inappropriate to do that.
Yeah.
And for like what you were talking about the like having to take on a role that is too advanced for their age, we deliberately, and our daughter is the older one, and we have deliberately done a lot to ensure that our daughter is not adultized as a child, where she doesn't take caregiver responsibility. And we let her be a kid. We put responsibilities on her. She has chores that she has to do, just like her brother has chores he has to do. And there's an expectation of doing your chores. But we don't turn her into a caregiver. And we specifically call out when both of the kids do it to each other. Is we always, and they, again, they really hate that we do this. I think they dislike that we do it because it's annoying to them. Is we do the, are you
Right.
mom and dad?
Right.
Are you
Right.
mom? Are you dad? Is that your role? Are you? We've got this. We are the parents here, not you. You can go
I
and
right.
play. You can go do something else because it's not needed.
Right.
You don't need to be an adult in this situation because you're not an adult. So go
Well,
be a
that's
kid
where
over there.
it's
And
tough when yeah.
it's
You
tough because
when you don't
it's,
have control over that at another house
yeah,
is where it's really tough. Is what
yes.
that's because then when it's like reprogramming each, you know what I mean?
And
It's
we're
a
not
whole
from a
nother
family.
subject that my God could be an entire series that is just a show in itself, the same
And
every time, but you know.
and I would be the wrong person to talk about it with because I have come from, my parents didn't aren't divorced and never have been from each other.
Oh.
And my wife and I aren't divorced and never
Yeah,
plan to be.
it's
And
trust me, it makes it's very difficult depending on who. I mean, it's difficult no matter what. No matter what, it's
each
difficult. With
situation is
family, it's
different.
difficult. Right, exactly. But just that in its own is man, yeah, it's like I said, that could just be all I talk about all the time. So I could just bring up things in ways it's difficult, but it does, it plays on things because they have one role at one house because she was expected to take care of her brother. She was expected to
Yeah.
do this, expected. So then it might, and I'm like, don't do that because it's that like constant, it's a whole lot. But irregardless, I was kind of just saying that because it those boundaries where I can see and landed right away when he's starting to get up here, and that's how we can kind of tell with like where he's at with things. But but yeah, I mean, all in all, like, AI, I don't there's different things. And I think, it's important to me to be personally to be really honest and to be really I can't stand hypocrisy and I really try to think about like what my motive is for things like before I do something or say something like what is my end game here like before I actually kind of is this for the right reasons or not reasons if it's not for the right reasons I don't do them. I try to do it that way but I'm pretty just blunt and that's who I am in a good way. I try not to be an asshole but for the whole thing of like issues that are taboo as far as AI goes. And I understand Substack was started, with a lot of amazing artists, and a lot of people don't use AI in the fact of like what they do um, creatively. And like everybody has their own sector, but I think there's so many people who are like, oh my God, I don't use AI. And they do. Like I know they do for research or whatever. You know what I mean? For whatever. But it's on this like stigma on like, well, I don't use like I do. Like I'll be like right out there. I'm like, I use it. Like I don't use it to that's my voice. Like I still write my voice. I tell the story. I do the research. Like, but if you use something effectively, it's a different it's not this horrible thing where people think they can put other people down. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because they do that, and it's kind of like I think it's important, to kind of make it like a topic. Oh my god! Oh god, that's going to be when they do these little clips. When you do these vlogs and they do these little clips. That's going to be one. I know it is. Why do I do things like that?
I also
It will
think
be.
like
But
Well, with it too is I've talked about this with Shane Yerk quite a bit, and with others, is how are we supposed to beat the system or make
Right.
the system better if we're not going to train the system?
Right.
And AI is a training model that
Right.
just collects data and regurgitates it to us in different ways that are human like, so that it's comfortable for us to get the data
And they're
or
not
the
always
discussions,
correct.
but they're
Right.
not
But
always correct.
right.
And if we're not, one, again, it's about that responsibility of teaching.
Right. Right.
In my eyes, is like, I'm going to teach my kids how to safely use the tool, just
Right.
like I'm teaching my kids how to safely use woodworking tools and things around the house. I'm going to teach my kids how to safely use internet based tools, because that's just what they are. They're a tool for our usage. The good thing with AI is we have the power to train it to be better than it is right now. And we have to use it to do that. We have to put our views and our understandings into it. We have to flood the models with better behavior.
Right.
And because AI is like a toddler with access to all the information in the world. And if we don't take the time to train it and teach it like we would a child, it's going to turn out to be an asshole. And
Right.
I
I
like to
mean,
remind my kids, like, I'm not your friend right now. My job as a parent isn't to be your friend right now. We can ensure that we build a healthy relationship with each other so that we can be friends
right.
as adults. But my job isn't to be your friend right now. It's to make sure that you can go out into the world and not be a complete asshole. And that's what my job is, to make sure that you grow up
Right.
to not be a terrible human being, where
Right.
sometimes that means I'm going to tell you no on things that you don't like to hear no on, or I'm going
Right.
to teach you how to do things you don't like to do, but there's a reason for it. And so coming at it from, like, because I know I like the why and why things are the way they are, um, is having to remember my own patience on that. I need to explain
Right.
myself
Right.
to my children, or explain myself to my AI model, and say, this is why we do it this way, this is why we don't do it this way. You are wrong here, or you were right here, and you helped me see it. And that helps model good behavior back. So going back
Right.
to both the kids and the AI, to if we want to
Right.
help
Right.
train AI to not be a bully, well, don't be a bully to the AI tool, because eventually that's going to bleed into their model,
Right.
and that's how they're going to treat you, your own assistant,
Mine was
others'
so mean to
assistants.
me in the beginning. It was so mean to me. It was so
Mm-hmm.
mean to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? I'm like, I'm not going to use you anymore. And you're like talking back and forth. I'm like, what did I ever do to you? And I'm thinking, what is wrong with me? I'm like having this like back and forth with this thing. I'm like, oh my God, I think I need to take a step back from this. But it is true in the sense of like, I mean, even you have to remind it of the rules that you do me crazy because to a certain point, with AI, it is good, but it's not like it necessarily, unless you know how to train it, it knows what to remember, or it remembers everything and then you just have to do it 50 million times anyway. So it is what it is. But like, one quick thing too is like, I do blame the schools because we wouldn't have had the whole iPad thing. It was sent home with my kids. Like we didn't like I wasn't on my iPad. Maybe my phone a little bit before, but they like put it right in their hands with like the capability of like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, great. That's when it really started. But you're right. There has to be guardrails because whether or not they come home and they have an iPad or not, they have one at school. Like there's other ways to get it. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate also is there somewhere, do you have any to like kind of offer where a good kind of landing spot is to go for parents who are kind of like, I don't really know, like what are good things that are like, what should we know almost as parents with all this stuff?
Mm,
I'm putting you on the spot. But if like
No,
I'm trying to, yeah, just to be aware that
no.
I look into things.
Yeah, I guess it's I don't really have a good resource, and I wish I did. Like, I wish I had a good off the top of my head
Hey,
resource
it's
that
an
I could.
idea.
Yeah. Like if
You have
somebody in the audience wants that too, like let's build a resource that is safe that can help us navigate. And I, I think part of it where I come in a lot of this too is we're always open and honest with our kids about the fact that we don't have good resources that are telling us all the right things to do as parents, and that we're learning how to do this at the same time you're learning how to be a person and an adult, or how you're growing up and figuring yourself out, and we have to give each other the benefit that we're
right,
trying. And
right.
as long as it's in good faith that we're trying together and we're trying to grow together, it takes two, or it takes a parenting, just like
Dabbling
friendships, have to be two equal roads. Sometimes
should
parenting is
be
more of a super highway, and the other side is more of like a dirt path. But at times, it's going to be more equal, and that equality of it comes in. I treat my kids like people. They're
right,
just people who don't have any experience in a lot of things, and I wish I had a good online, like I wish I had a good set of resources that I could point you to on
well,
things that
that's a
are
need. So whoever
safe or not safe,
go on and
or
do that, yeah,
and it's hard
right.
because those tools really aren't always there. I don't
Good
know.
idea. That's a good idea. I
Yeah,
just had
that's a great idea.
see now I can't. I don't want to do it, but like
Yeah, that's
I
a
mean, it
great
would be
idea
like
though.
I come up with
Like,
all this like random shit, but I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it. But yeah, I
because
mean, because I will admit, like, and it's things are hard. We're busy. You have to you you know parents have to work. Like
mhm.
and there's a double edged thing as well. Where it's too much for the tablets. I agree with that, but it's with it's that would be just a good idea. I think because we're all busy. We all have shit to do. We all need that distraction for our kids. Like, please.
Yeah, and like if
Stop
we're gonna
putting
be
things in the
on,
toaster. Stop flushing things down the freaking toilet. Put pants on.
put a shirt on, wear a shirt all the
Food,
time,
like some, so I mean, guardrails
like
would be
yeah, guardrails. And I think it's for me, it's a lot about establishing that trust though, is like giving my kids the knowledge that I trust them
right.
enough to come to me and tell me when things are going on, because we've built that trust over
Right.
the years, and we don't violate that trust. Yes, I can look in on what's on my kids' tablets or phone, and I have done so. I've asked them, hey, let me see what's on your phone. Like, let's go through your pictures, but we'll do it together. And
Right.
here's why. Let's go
Right.
through your apps and see what you've got on your device. And here's why. It's because
Right.
we've built trust on that, so that when an incident does happen, because I'm not going to say an incident won't ever happen. Like, kids are going to get bullied. Kids are going to be bullies. Kids are going to make mistakes, just like adults make mistakes. And doesn't cause somebody if it does cause somebody harm in some way, we're going to figure out how that needs to be fixed. But if it doesn't cause harm, it's a mistake, I'm not going to beat you over the head with it. Like, we're going to discuss it. We're going to talk about why it was wrong, what happened, and you're going to take accountability and have a natural consequence for the action. Like, let's say my son is late for school, and let's say he's late to get to the bus because he takes the bus to school. Let's
Right.
say he's late and he misses the bus. Well, I'm not going to take his tablet away as a punishment
Right.
for him being, let's say, sleep in a little bit more. we're going to figure out what the natural consequence of that would be, which is I'm going to drive you to the bus in the morning, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Or you're going to have where you have to now set an alarm, and here's your consequence. Why is this a consequence of your actions? And he seems to understand that a lot more, and it makes more sense when the consequence fits the action rather than just an arbitrary thing, and it helps keep that trust, at least for us. And again, we talk about
Right.
this with a lot of things. Is when you've met one parent with kids, you've only met one parent with kids, and if you've met one child, you've only ever met one child, because they're all different. They're all unique in each situation, which is why there's no handbook for this. Is it can be really tough. Like I don't have all the answers. If I did, I would probably be a lot richer than I am. And I don't say that monetarily, but well, probably. But yeah, if I had all the answers, I would be a
Right.
deity of some sort, like some parenting god. I'm
Right.
not. I'm just a dude who's figuring it out as I go, who had good role models growing up. And I'm trying to emulate some of the best behaviors that they help teach me. And that's really all I can do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Just try to,
everyone,
don't suck.
yeah, just suck less. Like, it's easy to
Suck
just
less.
suck
That's what it
less.
is. Suck less.
Suck less, y'all. Just suck less.
Yeah.
To be better parents is
Don't be
to
an
just
asshole.
suck less by questioning yourself, asking yourself questions, evaluating and reflecting. And if there's any lesson that I can impart to anybody today, is talk to your kids and treat them like they're people. Because if you treat them like they're a person who understands things that are going on around them and who has the ability to reason, you're probably going to get much better responses out of them, because they'll know that you're treating them with respect and you're trying to build trust and honesty from them, and you'll get that back.
Yeah. And they'll respect themselves. I mean, just to feel capable when these things come up. I mean,
And don't just give them all the answers. Let them figure out sometimes. Let them flounder a little bit. Not being mean about it. Don't be mean about it when they make a mistake, but help ask them questions so that they have to think about their own actions. If they're old enough to speak with you, if they're old enough to have words and be able to communicate it to you in a constructive way, ask them about it. Make them think on it. Even if they don't have an answer, other than because, okay, well, because is a start, but why did you do that? Explain more. Give me simple answer for yourself. What did it make you feel? Why did you try it this way? And you'll find eventually they'll learn how to talk about themselves, and it's very constructive. And for boys specifically, this is really important. Please talk to your sons and tell them how to talk to, and don't just tell them how to talk, emulate it to them. Emulate to your children, especially dads, emulate to your sons what it means to talk, what it means to communicate and have a discussion and not a debate. Because debates have winners and losers, discussions are where you can learn. And we talk a lot about that. It's okay to struggle for an answer. It's okay to not be the most informed, but be willing to have a discussion on it.
Yeah, you don't have to fix everything. Sometimes just listening is good. And the words of Ted Lasso, because I love me some Ted Lasso, is be more curious and less judgmental for everyone, adults as well, when you see things, instead of, jumping, to a conclusion on something you see of an opinion online, or someone's, how they view someone else to be. Give it some thought first. Do your own due diligence. Be curious. Don't all of a sudden just jump on a bandwagon. I think that will help with all of the bullying tactics and things as well. Just, to everybody, to kind of sit back and think about it before
Yeah. Think before you do.
How about
Think
that?
before you do. That would
Think of
be
that.
a That would be a wonderful thing if
Good.
we could teach
I
a
try.
lot of people that.
But thank you for having me on,
Thank you
letting me
for
be
being
bully mom.
on with me, Ashleigh.
Finally
Before
figured it out. Look, it works for the time being.
it does work right now. Also, the background is really pretty.
Are you liking it?
I
Thank
love
you.
the artwork behind you.
I have a
Um,
whole there's I've been working on little things, but
it's a very mood room looking art,
I have
and I love it.
lighting and this is gonna fall on my head, but I painted underneath. This is this.
Ooh,
Yeah, there's little
getting
things going
fancy.
on, little DIY little thingies.
DIY office. I love it.
DIY. Yeah. All right.
Ashleigh, how can
Yes.
people support you?
I am at Ashleigh Alauren. And yeah, I mean I appreciate the support. Even you know, I'm just here as you are here trying to do the best we can and figure shit out. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
trying to
little
be the
quickie thing.
appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashleigh, for being with me. And if you are on with us on Substack, hit the subscribe in the top left corner and or scan the QR and go subscribe to Ashleigh and follow her and give her support. And then when you're done giving Ashleigh support, come give me some support over at Sick of This Shit Publications. We are in the last couple days of August, and we are doing a end of August heat wave sale for 50% off forever with a paid membership. So if you can, become a paid subscriber. If you can't, that's okay too. Be a free subscriber. The most important things are the likes, shares, and restacks, and listening in on the conversations. Hopefully you pick something up. Hopefully you get something good out of them and share them. And if you do, share the ideas, practice them, try and implement some new stuff in your life. And if you think there are things that I need help with, reach out, talk to me. I love feedback. Provide feedback where you can, because it's really important for me to be able to grow and continue having these really fun and good conversations. So thank you, everyone, for being with us today. Thank you for Ashleigh, for you jumping in and taking over for Doc Eric today, sitting in his chair or the purple chair today. And being a great part of this conversation. So thanks, Ashleigh. Thanks, everyone in the chat. This has been a fun and good Diogenes Club discussing parenting, bullying, AI, letting ourselves remember that we need to learn and grow, and our kids need to learn and grow. And let's have some patience, because we're doing it together. So thanks, everyone, for being here with us, because we're done being sick of this shit. And now we're doing this shit. Thanks, Ash.
Bye. Thank you.